Hi friends, this is Heidi here with Kiddos Corral, and I have recently received a lot of requests to do breakfast items, so I thought that I would oblige and show you all how I make a very simple crepe. It's very easy, and I've been making these for some time. This is my husband's favorite breakfast, and every time I make it he says, okay, what do you want? So let's get started. Now the first thing you're going to need is to crack 3 eggs. Okay, I'm going to get a whisk and just break those eggs up. Okay, now we're going to add in about a cup of milk. This is whole milk that I'm using. I really think it makes a difference if you use a whole milk as opposed to a 2%, but I have used both. Now I'm going to add in a teaspoon of salt. And to this I want to add 1 cup of all-purpose flour. And you want to make sure that you get this all good and combined. Once combined, then I'm going to take you over to my stove and show you how to heat up your skillet to make these beautiful crepes. Okay, my crepe batter is fully mixed. And now what you want to do is you can use any type of skillet. I prefer a Teflon covered skillet. This isn't necessarily the prettiest skillet in the world, but it's definitely the most efficient for me. So I'm going to turn it on medium heat. You don't want it too high, you don't want it too hot, but you don't want to put your crepe batter into this until it is well heated. Now, you have several choices that you can use to grease your pan. Some people just use a cooking spray. Some people put shortening in. I've even seen people use butter. But because we kind of like our crepes more on a dessert side and we are coconut lovers, I use coconut oil and I melt it in the microwave and I just brush it in the inside of the skillet. Just like this, and that way it doesn't only keep my crepe from sticking, but it'll also infuse that great coconut flavor into each crepe, and it will taste absolutely delicious. I'm a huge fan of coconut oil when it comes to a more desserty type dish, especially if you like the coconut flavor. I use coconut oil to grease all of my pans when I make bread, when I make pancakes, French toast. A really big fan, and it has a lot of health benefits as well. So this is getting pretty good and heated up. And now I just want to find a ladle real quick for my, here we go. And I'm using one of these little ladles. I'm going to ladle this in. Now remember, crepe batter is not like pancake batter. Pancake batter is a lot thicker. And you want to take your pan and kind of start swirling it a little bit. And make it thin out a bit. You will notice that the sides will slightly release themselves from the pan whenever the crepe is done, and that'll kind of be an indication that it is time to flip. Now if I didn't have a skillet with sides that come up on it, I could actually take my fingers in there and pull that crepe out and flip it by hand, but because I have the sides on there, I can't do that with this. But on a crepe, actual real crepe maker, it's flat and you can actually take your hands and move it. Now I will tell you that it took me a little while to get the hang of making crepes. It was not something that I got right the first time, but after the third or fourth time, you know what I mean is the third or fourth crepe, I kind of got a feel for it, and the ones I messed up on were still delicious. It didn't matter about the appearance. So if you mess up, just understand everybody does. And you can start to see that this is getting done around the edges, and that, you know, you can just tell a overall appearance change as this gets done. Also too, if you take your pan and you can wiggle it, see, I don't know if you guys can see in the camera that this thing is actually moving, then you know pretty much that you can flip it. So I'm going to get my spatula up underneath here, and then I'm going to flip. You see how nice and brown it is on that side? And it literally takes seconds for a crepe to get done. I'm going to get me a plate out here because it's not going to be much longer. Move over here to the side so hopefully you guys can see. You can see how the crepe is turning up on the sides. That's kind of another indication. Like I said, it'll release around the sides and kind of move up a little bit, and you'll know that it's getting done. I turn it out like this, and I flip it closed just like that. Hopefully you guys can see. And then I know I can make the next one. Now these crepes are great because you can do all kinds of things with it. You can let them cool a little bit, and you can fill them with cream. You can fill them with custard. You can fill them with eggs and bacon if you like. My husband's most favorite way of eating these is plain, with a little bit of powdered sugar on top and some fresh blueberries on the side. That's how he likes to eat them. I hope you all enjoyed seeing how I make my crepes. If you have any questions, leave it down below. I'll be glad to answer it for you. And if you haven't subscribed, subscribe. And I will be talking to you all again soon. Bye-bye.